June 2010. Mobius trip. Keep your eyes closed. Click to begin the game. Okay. Okay, I'm bad. I opened my eyes. This is... And then my vision suddenly went black. Oh, we're back on the whisper. Everybody's blind. What's going... Jesus Christ, the door! Can't you do something? Can't you fix this? Please don't let this be forever. Am I going to be killed by a giant door? Yup. What's going on? Okay.
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
Help, I'm blind. Please don't let this be forever. Okay. Third time, just tell me how to do it. Someone talk to me. Okay, no. Looking away did not help. Yeah. What's going on? Oh, there's a thing over here. Let me just stop here to speak something that is honest. Okay. I still can't see anything. I'm totally blind. The only way to stop is to speak something that is honest. I am bursting with creative energy. No, that isn't truthful. What's going on?
Alright, let me explain how you're supposed to do this. On either side of the room are elevators, which go up to an upper level. You have to go up, walk over to the person who's standing there, and then select dialogue option number 2. Like I said, I was getting concerned. First
Yeah.
off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So, where's that coming from? But then, even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way. His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
Okay. So we're now going into like the depression part of a guy's mind. Where am I? Whoa. Okay. I'm here. Where did this island come from? Whoa! There's another one. Is that a person? How lovely. It's been a long time since I talked to anyone. What's wrong? You look lost. Where are you? Oh no! Trying to find this engine that used to protect me. machine that kept me going and it stopped. I guess. Looking for a machine? I know where it is. It isn't far. That's cool. You have to take me to it. I can do that, but there's a problem.
Game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations. This one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for? Because from my perspective at the time and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
Now you close the door. And now you press the door on the inside. There we go.
You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way.
It worked for me, you
You
bastard.
have to be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
Okay, it's... Oh, Jesus. Hey, it's me. I'm you after you skip me.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering. This is someone I really cared about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me. I don't know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop. But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
This is getting weirdly depressing. This is not a thing I should be playing before I go to sleep. Ah. I don't know why I'm looking around. These are just half-finished games. Hello, guard. Capture the machine? Let's be quiet. What? Coda. Coda, you're insane. You get to see the machine. What do you do with it, man? Believe this answers. Will it be punished? Do you know where the poisonous gases went? What? The machine answer for what it's done? Well, Coda, you're fucking out of it.
And of course, it's the machine.
Stop feeding us. This is getting weird, and I'm taking some very bad decisions, but... my friends. I have a troubling revelation. Refuses to admit that it deliberately hurt us, because it didn't. We do not need its games. Just show it we are not failures. Those are two extreme options. If we kill what it created, it can create again? Oh man, this is getting dark. Oh man, am I back on the stage? Are the lights gonna hit and I'm gonna jump like a girl again? Oh! Oh no. Oh man. I'll make sure you are known forever. Exposed view of others, seen in naked clarity.
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realized that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
No, not the warm room. I like the warm room. Oh, jeez.
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
I don't want to Metal Gear Solid shoot the boss. Even if it is just an engine. Can I not? God damn it.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need. To be told that my work is good. That I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something... I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy.
It didn't work for Coda, did it?
So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look.
You don't sound too happy about this. This isn't going to be a happy thing, is it? Oh boy. Oh man.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, The Tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game.
Yeah, noticeable. Are these like just like stock screaming sound effects, or did he have to actually make them? I'm kind of wondering about this now. Yeah.
Actually has a maze in it.
Really? Oh!
Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise. So the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played. It actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the level, so when you're ready to continue, press the use key on your gamepad, and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
I'm just trying to see if there's a way. Fine. Wall 128.128. Sorry, I had to. Because I know that doo-doo sound, that's like, I've heard that in a bunch of things. That's a stock sound effect. I'm not sure if like the people screaming is a thing, or whispering.
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable.
True.
Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate.
Yeah.
What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze? The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
One, 6. I wonder if he actually spent hours trying to figure that out, or if he just like popped the game open and looked. Yeah, this is definitely not a game designed to be played. Up. Falling into a random room.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges, and you got to this point, There's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem.
Maybe you were the problem?
Failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem.
It's
But I can open this door for you, so let me do that.
it's not always your problem, dude. It's his problem. And sometimes you don't have to, involve yourself. You just have to make sure that they have the tools or the necessary things to fix themselves up
For not understanding this game?
when they need to.
I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time. And as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew. It wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't.
3 dots? Well, it's his prerogative, and maybe it meant more to him than anyone else. Going back to what I said about my dad's writings, he never wanted to get them published. He just did it purely as a hobby, purely as an purely for himself, to just kind of like get through his emotions, get through the stories in his head, and they're good most of the time. Some of them he was clearly pissed drunk when he wrote, but
I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy.
And here you are.
I needed to see myself in someone else.
Yeah, exactly.
To be someone other than me. But he stopped and left. And it felt somehow like I had failed.
Because you did. You were trying to connect with this person or whatever, and you failed to do that because you were demanding it on your time, possibly not even thinking what he wanted. Maybe you were... It's a bit harsh, but... Yeah. Some things just aren't meant for, public consumption. They mean more to the person who made them, and...
Where did I screw up?
Maybe you didn't. Maybe you did. There's no right answer to that. Ah.
I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you.
You gave them to somebody else when you didn't want them. Anybody else to see them. Knowing that they were being judged, that he had to design games for people rather than just for himself, might have soured the taste. This got real. I was expecting a weird-ass fucking video game based off of...
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... It felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
Yeah.
And the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
What?
And then you stopped. And I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing. What does that mean? I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself. That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work, is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
That was intense. Oh. Mm.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease. Solution.
I really don't know
Yes,
what to
if someone
say.
had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons.
Some people have things that they do as their own personal outlet. They have their ways of dealing with them. Sometimes it seems depressing or bad, but they're just normal people. You honestly think everybody who makes you know, scary movies or horror games as some individual who really wants to slice somebody up. It's deeper meaning to it. Maybe trying to get you to feel those things was the point of the games, but you just took it outside of the game. I don't know, though. I don't know you, I don't know Coda, and I'm just as lost as you are.
Is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
Doesn't look like Coda made this one, so...
If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be?
Make your own validation, man.
It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable.
Well...
Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
Then I have no answers, man. Just sometimes don't know where you're even going.
What now?
Move forward and hope you find what you were looking for along the way. I guess.
I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for. So I'm just gonna... Okay.
This is going to lead to the desert town, which leads to the beginning, isn't it? I'm kind of thinking in my head this might all be made up, Coda and the character who's playing this and everything, Davey, and it might just be some narrative thing he's trying to do, but at the same time it might be real. With a medium like this, it's difficult to tell. Button's not doing anything, just drop into the hole. I've dealt with depression and stuff before, and for me, I mean, there have been lows, but they pass after a while. And I kind of recently did learn to just, you know, do things to kind of fix it. Find something to do, find people to be with and that. And it's... I'm not very social, but I get what socialness that I need. You know, from coworkers, from friends and them. I got my hobbies, but... yeah, the feeling like you fucked up, like you did something big, destroyed somebody's life or something, that's something that weighs on you. And oh God. This got way too real. I need to read more of my dad's writings. But it's difficult. Like the guy said, he was seeing all these prisons and depressing things in these games, so... and it affected him, and imagine that's your father writing about some fucking crappy ass experiences about life. You know, the kind of guy he was, so... that's just me. There's only this one solution, isn't there? I don't know if I'm going to upload this or not. I don't know what the fuck I'm even going to do now.